Okay, Sean, this is the mass properties you're looking for here, and you don't quite have that. You're kind of close, but kind of close is like not being close at all. So let's go ahead and check to see what you have, and let's compare that. So yeah, when you send me the stuff, go up to options, take that toggle and move that all the way up to the top, and take the precision up to 4. That gets your points off right away if you don't do that. So it just makes it a little bit quicker. If I'm doing 20 of these times 4, 80 in a grading period. So yeah, so go to OK. And still don't quite have that. So let's get my guy up and take a look at that. Yeah, so you're off by by quite a bit, not even close. So let's see what's going on here. Let's pull that out. Let's close this guy, and let's go to your base sketch. Make sure you rename your features in here too. Get points off for that too, and it's going to go ahead and right-click on that. One thing that's apparent here is that you don't have the ANSI standard. You have ISO. So when you see stuff like this, when you have dimensions going up and down and at angles and stuff like that, the ANSI standard really pretty much has those going side to side, or always horizontal. So let's go up here to units and check your units. Actually, drafting standard, you want to go from ISO, you want to go from ISO to ANSI. And then go to OK. It's just easier to read when you're looking at hundreds of these a day. And then something else here too. This dimension in here, got to be careful about putting in dimensions that don't belong. And if you double click on that dimension, it's got a gazillion digits after the decimal. That's bad news too. Right away, if you have something like that in there, you're going to get it wrong. So don't put in dimensions that don't belong. That's why I put dimensions in the drawing. Only have those dimensions and the sketch relations in there that'll help define this. So, like I said to everybody else in class, what you want to do is take your blue points and kind of move those around. Not all of them move. These might move, and yeah. So I think you can see right away what you need to do. Ooh, that's kind of a pleasing visual effect. Yeah, so what you need to do here is go ahead and make these tangents. So what I do is I just exaggerate it, grab those two with the pick box like Mark was doing, and just go up to tangent. That's Mark Schneider, by the way. So let's check everything else. That's fully defined, so I think that's probably pretty good. Something else that's apparent? Your origin isn't where it should be. It's your origin should be down in the bottom. So let's go ahead and take a look at the drawings that are associated with that. If we pull that guy in over here, whoop. It says over here, base feature on the front plane. That's okay. Origin centered on the bottom edge and extrude forward or extrude towards the front. So I think you extruded towards the front. You just don't have your you don't have your origin down there. Or what we should say is your model isn't to the origin. Origin is always static. So we're going to take that. You have a point there. I don't know why you have a point there, but it might be that midpoint line. And sometimes you get these errant points that kick around. I'm going to go ahead and delete that point. That'll get rid of that midpoint relationship in there too. Let's go ahead and delete this point down here too. We don't want these stragglers kicking around. Now let's go ahead and take, if we can take that line and maybe establish that midpoint relationship down here. And then grab that whole thing and just bring that up at the origin. That's a quick way of fixing it. So I think that's fixed. I think your sketch is fixed now. So if we go ahead and rebuild that, get your properties back here. Let's go ahead and get my snipping tool out and take a look at that. We'll compare that. Oh, still off. But you got this correct, almost correct. The center of mass. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. I think what you have in here is a dimension that doesn't fit. This 0.26 inch dimension should be 1/4 of an inch, not 0.26. So let's go into the boss extrude here. Should rename that. Let's see what you have in here. So kind of a typo, 0.25, not 0.256. So if you did that and go to the green check mark, now if we go to mass properties, bang, I think we're right on the mark here. 0.6262. And then 1541.5464, that's right, and the Y and the Z is 1/8 of an inch. Of course, the Z is predictable because you're extruding that out from the origin. So now the center of mass is halfway between where the origin is and where the edge is. So that's half of that 1/4 inch, and that's 1/8 of an inch. So there you go. I didn't check the rest of that, but I think if you get the base stuff figured out, everything else should just fall into place.